my name is Hikari Mori, and it's a beautiful day out here in Tokyo. I'm so excited to meet Marie-Claire Daveu, who is the Chief Sustainability Officer in Kering. Let's go inside and discuss about the future in sustainability.
So, first, we can start our conversation about the future, sustainability, fashion. But I would like to start to ask you a first question. First of all, what made you interested in sustainability? Where your passion is coming from, sustainability and fashion? If you can elaborate a little bit more.
Okay, I don't have any direct reason, but everything that my path, I think, lead to my interests. And the first thing was my mother. I grew up in the middle of Tokyo, in a concrete jungle, but she had a Garden of Eden on her roof. She was enjoying her life with vegetable that she grew by herself. She will never buy eggs at the supermarket. She had her own chickens. And that kind of joy, I seen her lifestyle, I appreciate that later on. After I chose my life to become a fashion modeling, I thought a lot about what's a real, true beauty, sustainable beauty. And when I thought about that, my mother's lifestyle made a very meaningful way to me. And another reason is because I chose my life to become a fashion model. I thought I had a very much responsible for what I select, what I wear, what I eat. I have a responsibility to be a role model to people. I think that everything that I was so lucky to meet a lot of people that were conscious what they choose from all kinds of genre, not just from fashion world, but engineering, from architect, actors. I had a lot of inspiring people around me, and that was very lucky.
They give you food for thoughts, in fact.
Oh, and then I heard, about this word called art du vivre in French, and then in Japanese it's called kurashi no bigaku.
Okay.
And so, gradually as a fashion model, I'm have interesting to be a lifestyle model, not just fashion, but how I live. If it becomes art du vivre, that will be my passion for me.
Great,
yes.
Great.
So I think
very impressive.
And then I checked a little bit about you, and they were, I think there's a lot of things in common for us, And then I'm still learning. I'm still in this process of learning. But I heard that you were, learning in school about engineering, and can you tell me about your path?
Yes, with pleasure. It's a great exchange. So I grew up in Brittany. It's in France, and what is great, it's near the sea. And I was very lucky because when I was young, my parents, so my father and my mother, raised really awareness about the fact that to protect the environmental side, to protect nature was really key, was really important. And because they were doctors, they explained me when I was young also the link between, the health and the fact that if you destroy the nature, if you have some pollutions, it could really affect the health of people. So thanks to my parents, I think I have this kind of consciousness quite early. And after, I have two passions, really two passions to be honest. One is, of course, the ecology side, and the other, it's animal welfare. So when I was young, I was really engaged in some NGOs to protect animals. So not only wildlife, but also domestic animals. And so that's why I decided to study biology and to continue to become an engineer. and I start to work in public sector before joining Kering, but I have always this kind of fil rouge link with the environmental side, sustainability, and of course I never forget animal welfare. So yes, we have many things in common. It's great, and now we are in fashion together. So amazing.
And I'm sure fashion needs a lot of hints right now from you, you know, because you're like not just like, you know, fashion, we think, okay, fashion, maybe art or something like, you know, the visual thing, but behind that there's engineering, of course, because for new fabrics, maybe like practical fabrics or sustainable fabrics or materials. So that's why you went into engineering?
Yes, and I think, you know, when you are speaking about the fashion industry, of course, you have what people are able to see, so it's a wonderful products, but you are totally right. Beyond the products, we are speaking about raw materials. So that's why the first step, which is very important for us, and you mentioned it previously, it's about the fact that we have to know where our raw materials are coming from. So it's about traceability. After, it's really to be able to identify the best raw materials in the two major dimensions. Of course, quality, because we are in luxury, so we need really to have the highest standards in link with quality, but also to pay attention about the fact that the raw material used to produce the luxury products are really paying attention to the planet and also to the people. So that's why we pay attention about climate change, biodiversity, all this kind of thing, and we try really to develop a specific sustainable supply chain, really to supply our production with the best raw material, the best sustainable raw material. Sometimes it's quite challenging, and it's also an area where we try to push innovations and also disruptive innovation. I'm very happy to be in Japan because during my trip I met many startups, Japanese startups, which are really involved in innovations and sustainability. And I'm sure that it will be also very useful for us as a fashion luxury company to use in the future this kind of thing. And only to give you an order of magnitude when we are speaking about innovation, between the corporate and the brands, we are working with more than 250 startups from the raw material point of view until the end of life of the product. So, for example, how you can produce leather in lab, how you can use mycelium to do some cuts. It was the case with Balenciaga. So we try really to push, yes, also technical things inside our productions.
I saw the room downstairs of Kering,
right, yes.
And I saw the history.
Yes.
And it was very early on you guys started about this topic, about this theme that we have to approach.
No,
what was it?
I think, and you are right, but thanks to our chairman and CEO, François-Henri Pinault, he is really convinced about sustainability. And that's why you are right. I think he was really pioneering about this topic. And many years ago, he put sustainability at the heart of our strategy. So we can say really that sustainability is embedded in the DNA of the group. So I'm very conscious about the fact that we are not perfect, but it's really something where we want to work, where we want to implement, and where we want also to change the things. We think, and I didn't mention it previously, but because we are in luxury, we have a specific responsibility because we set the trends. So if you speak about fashion industry, as you know, fashion industry has a big impact when we speak about environmental footprint. Only to share a number, 10% of the greenhouse gas emissions are coming from the fashion industry. So we won't go into all the detail, but only one number. After, when you know that, and when you are working in luxury, and because we have, I will say, this capacity, this ability to set the trends. We think that really sustainability for us, it's not only something we have to do as an optional manner, but it's really a duty. When you have a designer or when you have a fashion model like you, when you speak about sustainability, you have a huge impact. So that's why we think that we have to raise awareness about this topic to show that you can be profitable, you can have growth, and at the same time, again, to take care of the people and to take care of the planet. So it's really key for us. But I have a quick question for you. You, of course, you are Japanese, but you are traveling also around the world, so you can make some comparison. How do you, the young Japanese, feel about sustainability today? When I think about this audience, it's Gen Z, millennials. How do you perceive your friends?
Yes. I think at the end of the day, it's not just about generation. I think it depends on their each conscious, what their path they are taking in life. So I don't know if it's like I should make it generation theme, but I think us younger generation is more maybe conscious about what we select generally, because I think then before we have a lot of information comes in, you know, we have internet, so maybe there's real news, real news and fake news, and we have to kind of judge that and we have to dig into it. But basically, I think we have lots of good and bad information comes in. So in that sense, I think we're very conscious what we choose in, and conscious about the future of this planet, because we can feel more reality, you know, the weather, the life circle, and the animals. Like we can feel that some dangerousness too, you know, because we
it's a reality.
Reality.
Anyway.
Before, I think it was very, very hard to catch. Right. You know, we have to live every day. At the end of the day, we
unfortunately,
have to live.
it's a reality. Yeah. Before, it was most perhaps facts, number, scientific people who were speaking about this topic. Now, it's a reality.
And everything became so convenient and fast, and very lucky at the same time. But everything has pros and cons, I think.
Of course.
Especially you're in the behind the scene, and you know, engineering new fabrics and exploring new things, and especially when you know the behind the scene, I think you feel that pros and cons and choose, okay, what's the most balancing for this earth, for us, for the animals. But for us, we're the one that's just seeing the surface in a way. So these kind of interviews is so important to tell the stories. And as a model, I think I'm have a responsible for being a storyteller.
Yes, as Kering, as I mentioned, we set the trends, but you set also the trends. So it's very important that yes, you can also raise awareness with us about this topic. So it's good news. New generation are really interested in. They want to choose sustainable products. They will push it. It's what I understand.
Yes, I think we can imagine more like 100 years later. 200 years later, when everything became so fast, so we're trying to take a little bit. There's so many things to choose from, so I think we're getting strict. You know, we need to know the story behind every product, and we have to relate to that and appreciate that. And I think sustainability, there's so many approaches. But one of the approaches that I like, it's kind of way of Japanese people think too, but using like products long time and pass it down the generation.
So really the long lasting, which is really inherent to the quality of the luxury products, yes. Totally.
So luxury products is, you know, the fabrics, of course, but the craftsmanship, and that can be art, you know, wearable art. So I think art is not just a piece of art that we have it on our wall. You know, wearable art.
You have a beautiful jacket.
Thank you, Bottega Veneta. So yeah, in that sense, I wanted to share you.
No, but if you allow me, what you are saying resonates a lot in Kering, because when we are speaking about quality inside Kering, we speak about savoir-faire, design, craftsmanship, but also the fact that we pay attention, we care about people and planet. And I think only using the word luxury, in a nutshell, we have all these kind of concepts, so it's really resonate in our way of thinking. So really great.
Yeah. So one of the projects that I started 4 years ago, during the pandemic, was called this project called City Shed. It means, city shed, like a shed in a city. And so what my going back to the story of my mother, she made a shed in the city. So I wanted to share, like, because of I travel around the world, I find a lot of interesting products, you know, using plant-based and using, like, for example, bamboo material is very practical. So all the things that I found around the world, I wanted to presentate in an art du bourgeois style. So that, like, you know, about like protecting the earth, I know, I get it, but it sounds very, very big. And, you know, I feel so small sometimes. That's why I wanted to, like, but the small effort can make a big change. And plus it feels good at the end of the day.
We can't change the world alone, but everyone has a responsibility to do something. So if every company does something, at the end of the day, it's a collaborative approach, and it's so big. So yes.
And for Kering too, a lot of collaborate is a big theme, right?
Yes. Because inside Kering, we think that if we want to change the paradigm, we can't act alone, and we need to develop a collaborative approach. So that's why in 2019 we created what we call the Fashion Pact. It's a coalition of many companies from the sports brands such as Adidas, Nike, but also in luxury with our friend in Chanel, but also with Inditex. And we have the feeling that if we are working together, we will be able really to implement new solutions, new sustainable supply chain, and really to make a real shift, and also to raise awareness all over the world, because all the companies that I mentioned are really a global company. So we are doing this kind of thing. So which word do you advise for a company like Kering to speak about sustainability?
For Kering, I think you should talk from the European side, from your roots. For me, I thought I wanted to exchange my culture, you know,
Totally right.
Especially you're to Japan. That's so special. We met here, and then we're exchanging our roots. And as a Japanese, grew up here, and I went back to my roots during pandemic. I felt like I need to keep on this to the future, and then that's why But there's so much things to learn about. Even though I was born and raised here, there's so much things that I don't know.
But you have a so rich history in Japan. So that's why we start our conversation speaking about disruptive innovation, about the future. But you have a so rich history in Japan. So I'm sure that you can also learn many things from your history and to try to see what it means for the future. But
exactly. And I don't want to rewind it. I wanted to have the contemporary lens through it. So right now I'm designing Japanese crafts, and then I communicate with the craftsmanship, and then we kind of figure out like new way of the showing the crafts in this modern day.
Okay.
And that is becoming my passion and my life work, and it kind of relates to my model career too. So before, you know, and as my grandmother was an haute couture fashion designer, so she was in the fashion world from the 60s. She started from Japan and then New York, and
she's very famous.
So, but she was she was protecting the craftsmanship in Japan because she loved, you know, she has so much appreciation to European people, to the American people, and she wanted to share the beauty of Japan. We just wanted to share. So in that sense, I kind of relate with her now. You know, a lot of things I didn't see when I was younger, but yeah, when I go back to my roots, there was everything.
It's
had
true
the
for
answer.
all the children.
Yes.
When we are becoming adults, we understand that many things from our past, our history, we can use. So next time I will come in Japan, I will visit on the ground your project.
Yes,
I'm
please.
sure it will be great.
Please.
So, and you will bring me your culture and your rich history around Japan. So it will be a real pleasure.
Yes.
So,
and I would love to go to the factory in Milan.
More than welcome in Milan next time.
East meets West.
So I think we have to move to my last question. Each time we have the in conversation with, I like asking a specific question. If you have a magic wand, what you will do with? What will change all over the world, in Japan, in sustainability, in everything?
Yeah, I think this will be a boring answer. I'm sorry, but I won't change anything actually, because I think we have to learn from each mistakes. And I think right now we're in this situation it's a learn for a big change, and I think that comes naturally. I think imperfect is perfection in a way. So I think if I had a magic wand and make everything perfect or make something, you know, change in my power, I think I'll make the wrong decision. So I think each people, each way of thinking I think that's important, and we communicate like this, and we share our opinion. Sometimes maybe we fight.
With pleasure.
But that's the importance of life, I think. If everything has an easy way of solution, I don't think I feel that liveness. I think maybe someone will be hurt or someone will be sad. I need to learn more. I need to skill up my...
Okay.
Yeah. So, Marie-Claire, can I ask you, if you have a magic wand, what will you do with it?
Alors, I will change many things,
but
only one. Only one. That's why. So I would like to see what we can call key leaders in the world from public sector and private sector, really committed about environmental, animal welfare challenges, to be sure that there is a concrete link between speeches and facts on the ground. So one thing.
So as we were, communicating about collaboration, you wanted to use the magic wand to have this kindness or we kind of inclusion.
Yes, and above all, people to be aware, to be very conscious that we don't have time to change the things. You were mentioning global warming, so we see that we don't have time, so we have to act. Now it's not the time to speak, it's really the time to act. So it's the responsibility of the key leaders in the private sector, in companies, but also people who are working in the public sector. I'm coming also from the public sector, so for me it's really important to involve all the people, because I think when you see how much issues are important, we won't be able to find solution alone. So it's not only one sector and the other sector. It's really hand in hand to work together.
Yes. So you have been putting yourself in that, behind the scene, and then you have been learning about the specialties, about about sustainability. That's why you have a wise answer, and I should now you have my one too. Yeah, so I need to give my one to you. Okay. So that what is the second one? Okay.
To see you another time and to do things on the ground.
Thank you. We meet again.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Arigato.